having a professional qualification of some kind does help you build a base from which you can then create a career. In the past, you may be able to get away with a situation where you could use experience in a less competitive world to actually get ahead. But today, I think as a basic start point, having a professional qualification will give you, not an edge necessarily, but allow you to start the race. I think the important thing is to try and understand who you're trying to bring together and why. Engineers have a common thing they're doing and need common standards, so that a man or a woman who's building a bridge has to do it in a certain way and has to apply themselves in a certain way, and having a profession that helps police that's important. In finance, one might say with the experience of the global financial crisis, we could have benefited from that, but I think it's such a diverse world that we have to be clear what it is we're trying to achieve. Now, I don't think it hurts in trying to go for one and trying to get to that situation where people have a common interest and common standards. Whether we achieve in my lifetime, I don't know. I think that ethical standards are really about behaviour and culture, and reinforcing within that an understanding of what acceptable is and what isn't. And education has got to help with that, hasn't it? Learning and understanding what people believe is a good thing to do, how to behave, as opposed to what not to do and how not to behave. Trying to just develop that without actually some sort of training and support, I think is quite difficult, and certainly it can help reinforce what you do when you go back into the workplace. I think having a qualification for anyone is a good start, and I'm not sure it's probably a necessary but not sufficient condition for women to, as you say, beat the glass ceiling, because I think that is much more about the culture in a business they're in and how they address that ceiling. It is about the mindset of the people involved in the way they work, and a qualification, I don't think it's enough to get them there. I think it's more their attitude and their approach, and the attitude and approach to their employer. And it's much more important to have a holistic culture that takes and embraces diversity in its widest sense, rather than saying, if I got a qualification, it's the only thing that's going to get there. It's a good thing to have, but in itself it's not enough.